In this video, we're going to do quite a bit. We're going to install Ubuntu under WSL. We'll create a directory for your class projects, download the project creator, and then use the project creator to create your first project, and then we'll run through that first project. So here we go. Open up the Windows App Store and search for Ubuntu, U-B-U-N-T-U, and select the 20 version. Click Get. You might have to click some other things because you haven't done this before, and ultimately you'll click Install. Allow it to download, and I'll pin it to the Start menu. Go over to the Start menu, and I'm going to quick drag it onto the command bar down at the bottom, and then I'll click on it, and that was from the Start menu. Now this might take a few minutes. In fact, it will take a few minutes. Things are getting set up. The next thing it's going to do is ask you for an account name. Now, this virtual machine is running on your real machine, which is already secured by your password. So this one, just to make things go a lot faster, you can use an account name of the letter A, and you can also specify a password of just the letter A, because you'll have to use your account name and password often. So make it easy. Retype your password, it's just the letter A. And now that you have an account, we will need to update the system. So first we're going to get a list of the most up-to-date software. That's sudo space apt space update. And when you're ready, hit return. You'll need to enter that little letter A, and then it's going to go to the internet, and currently it is reading a list of the most up-to-date software. We haven't installed anything yet. That's going to happen in a moment. So sudo, sudo, space, apt, upgrade. This says go get the most recent copies of the things that are installed and install them over the old. So there you just hit return, and now it has been downloading. Now it's going to start figuring out what to do with the downloads. Here it's unpacking and preparing. And that'll take a little while. It may take an even longer while on a machine which is slower than this. I'm running this Windows system on a very powerful laptop. And now the setup has actually begun. This will take longer again. But keep letting this go until it completes. When it does complete, we'll then use a similar command to install programs that we'll need in order to do our compilation and debugging. And I just could not help myself. I'm sorry. We'll also install some games, but don't ever, ever, ever play them. There's one which I absolutely hate and never, never play called Mille, Millborns. It's short for Millborns. It's a French card game, and the simulation is a very good one. But never, don't, under any circumstances, play these games. Now, as usual, it may take a short period of time, relatively short, to get up into the 90%, and then typically at like 98 or 99%, it takes 98 or 98% of the 99% of the time to finish. And it's just about done. There. Now type with me sudo sudo space apt, this time space the word install. And now very carefully type in the rest. build dash essential essential space G is in George, D is in David, and B. So GDB space VIM, we'll talk about someday, space HTOP, which is a favorite utility of mine. It tells you what's going on in your system. And once again, don't ever, ever, ever play these games. They're terrible. And you hit return. Just hit return again. Now we'll have to wait a little while. Okay, when this completes, we're going to have just about all of the software that we need for this course on the Wizzle Ubuntu environment. Let's confirm things installed correctly. Just type in G++ space dash dash version. And G++ will respond saying that it is version 9 something. Good, good. We're done with the installation and we're ready to move on to the next step. Enter CODE space dot. And this is going to bring up Visual Studio Code. We need to install one thing right away. And down at the bottom, it'll talk about Wizzle and do the install. This is going to allow Visual Studio Code to talk to the Linux side. And we can confirm that it installed. If you click on it, you'll see disable and uninstall, which implies, of course, that it is installed. So close code. Okay, now we're going to actually get our compiler environment going. So open up Ubuntu. ls lists the contents of a directory. That's a folder. And here, there's no output. There's nothing in your folder. So let's create a directory that will hold all of your class projects. So I am creating a directory called CSC 1810. Linux likes to have lowercase and no spaces in file names. So notice ls says that CSC 1810 is now present. Now let's change the directory cd space CSC 1810. Go to github.com, github.com, click in the search and put in create underscore VS Code underscore project. Hit return. Way down on the list there, you'll see P. Kowalowitz, create VS Code project. Scroll down and copy that entire line. So right click, copy, and pasting into a Linux terminal is kind of difficult. You see what I did there? I clicked, and now I'm trying to do a paste by right clicking and nothing happens. I try doing it using the menu. Nothing happens. Where I went wrong was that initial click in the window. So I'm going to copy it again. Going back here. Oh, see, I clicked again to make the window active. That's just habit, right? And now I can't paste again. So now I'm wise to it. Let me copy again. And this time I'm going to just go to the menu. I gave up. Paste and hit right click. We've just downloaded from the internet the project creator. Let's do a listing, and our previously empty folder now has that. We have to make it executable. So chmod, chmod, space 755, those are permission bits. And notice I typed in CRE and paused. Then I hit the tab key and it filled in all the rest of the characters. Now, when I do an ls, because of the chmod, the create project command is now green. Let's execute it. Dot slash, there's my CRE and I hit tab and it fills in the rest. Enter a new project name, let's say first underscore project. Hit return again, ls, and now in the dark green, whoever designed this must have hideous taste. cd space first underscore project. And let's take a look at what's there. There's some starter code and a Visual Studio Code project all ready for your use. So say code, C-O-D-E, and then I type a few letters and PR and I hit tab and it fills in the rest. First time you do this, a number of things need to be downloaded. It's done automatically, nothing to worry about. Some more things that you have to do. Click allow access, and now dial down first project, double click on main.cpp, and more things will happen. Allow this to install. And a reload is required, so just push that button. Whenever that plugin refreshes itself, it will require a reload. Now more stuff is downloading, and maybe we're ready to go. Okay, now that squiggly line disappeared on its own, and there are no squiggly lines visible, so things must be good. Now I want you to see the F5 here, function key 5. That is going to start debugging. That's one way to start debugging. And what you're going to see here is actually the program ran and finished, but it's showing you a tab that really isn't helpful. Instead, click over to Terminal, and there is the output of the program. Hello, Carthage CS student, and look there in the source code. Hello, Carthage CS student. Let's add another line of output. We'll cover this later, of course, but it's cout for console output, less than, some happy joy text, followed by another less than, and notice there's a red line there. That's because we haven't finished entering this line. So let's say ENDL semicolon. The red line has gone away. Now notice that circle. This file has not been saved yet. So I've hit save, which is Control S. And now this, I've clicked on the debug. Here's this play button. Doing it this way, the terminal tab is still there, but again, it's not very useful. You have to click it again, and here is a useful terminal. All right, at this point, let's close code. And closing your shell should be done using EXIT.